And we're live. What's good, buddy?
Hey,
Where are you at right
tonight
now?
today
Why is it so
outside.
bright and sunny and outside? I hear birds and stuff.
Yeah, I know it's great. It's great. It's so nice outside. I decided to do it outside.
Nice, beautiful.
Check this out. Wore my Ted Lasso hat. I watched the episode last night. It's
No,
fantastic.
I didn't watch the new episode. Was that the finale last night?
No. There's like 4 episodes.
Oh, no, nice. It's a longer season. Cool.
Yeah, it's been a good season so far. Last night's episode was especially fantastic. If y'all out there have not seen Ted Lasso, I strongly suggest checking it out. Yeah, It's such a great show.
Totally. Sean, how's your weekend?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's been a great weekend. We should talk about the Infinity Gauntlet. It dropped. So obviously we both went for the drop, and we got it.
Landed it.
And how many?
Got my SR gauntlet.
Yeah, that was great. And then how many did you end up crafting?
Just one. I just had I had a single set of the stones, and I just crafted
Just one, huh?
How about you?
I actually did 2.
Oh, nice. Are you planning on flipping one?
Yeah, I did 2. I think long term. Definitely not the short term. I should have more.
Yeah.
I definitely should have more. What's up, Omar? Hey.
We have our guest here, by the way. What's up, Omar? What's going on? So let's bring Shakina up. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
You're muted.
Yep. What's up? How are you doing? It's Shekinah.
Good.
Shekinah.
Oh, so sorry.
No, it's all good. So how are you guys doing? It's Tuesday.
Doing great. Yeah, good start to the week. How about you?
Tuesday.
Man.
So thanks so much for joining us today. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about your background and all the cool things that you've been doing in both the comic and the Web3 space, but also talking a little bit about your comic, Chainhoppers, which is a really, really cool NFT comic. But yeah, maybe we could get started and just give us a little bit about your background and some of the cool things that you've been working on.
No problem at all. Hey, what's up? I'm Shekinah. I am, I guess, more so known as a lawyer within the Web3 space, representing different NFT projects, as well as, just independent gaming, I guess, studios as well. And I got into the NFT space probably about a couple of years ago. So early 2021, we're working with a client, and I was making digital sneakers, and that kind of rolled into.
I wonder who that client is.
Yeah. Okay. Artifact. If you actually want to know, I still get tired of saying it, and so, but no, just a great. No, certainly a great entry, into the space, and that certainly opened my eyes to the technology of NFTs and like a more so blockchain technology and NFTs as a use case through different mediums. But working with them, and I kind of got in contact and met other artists and builders within the space and provided some legal consulting. And now I'm working with Dead Fellas, as their lawyer as well. I feel like I'm all over the place. I was in Estonia all of last week, and I got back Saturday night back to the US. And I'm in love with what they're building with the different startups, over in the Baltics and Northern Europe, and what they're building. Everyone's building something, and there's so much technical, ingenuity out there, so much resourcefulness too, just a lot of small teams. And so, and then in the middle of all of that, I wrote a comic. I wrote it last year around the PFP. So the profile picture that I use on Twitter, I also use it on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. So it's the same profile picture, and it's from the Artifact Clone X.
I love your clone, by the way. You have a sick clone.
Thank you.
So cool.
I feel like I've made it cool. I have done that. So That's why.
Yeah.
Definitely wasn't the Artifact team or Takashi Murakami. No.
It was just a JPEG, but that I got a hold of it, and so it's super special now.
Yeah, you brought some life to it. I love it. So if you're able to share some of the details, I'd love to know how you got, I guess, first connected to Artifact. So I'm a clone holder, and huge into Artifact and all the stuff that they've been building. So I'm just very interested to kind of hear your story around that.
Yeah, no, essentially, it's the definition of shoot your shot. This is, what is it? It's the end or I'll say fall 2020, and I had taken the bar exam. I'd passed it, so became a licensed attorney, and was like, I don't know what I want to do. I just know I don't want to work for a law firm. I'd like to do something exciting. And I don't know, I just was on Twitter because what Robinhood and just everything crypto was kind of the rage in 2020 during the pandemic. And so that got me back on Twitter, kind of wondering what is this crypto stuff. And I think I came upon Super Rare. OpenSea was awful back then. It was worse than what it is now, but it was really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
The interface. And so I hated OpenSea, but I liked Super Rare. And then, I was just following some of the artists. A lot of them were on Twitter. So I got back on Twitter, and somewhere in my feed, somehow, I saw just one of the digital sneakers that Artifact had created. They had done a tweet, someone retweeted it or liked it, and somehow I saw it. And I was like, is that real? Or like, I couldn't tell. And I tried to search them on YouTube to see if I could find videos, because their website didn't provide too much information either. And what I could determine, it was not real, but it was still really cool. And I knew that I was like, I liked IP when I was in law school. I didn't study it at all. I studied immigration law and international law. So I was like, I had some interest in IP, even though I didn't study it. And I felt they really needed to protect the trademarks and just around around the IP that they were creating. And so, I just clicked their website. They had a hello@artifact.com as their email on the website. And I was like, I'm going to email them, and I'm going to ask to be like their legal intern. That was the actual, that's what I said. I want to be their legal intern. I was like, I don't have any experience, because I didn't do my law school internship at a law firm. So I really didn't have any experience. So I was like, I don't have any experience, but I'm about to be licensed, in a couple months. I'll wave in. But I'd love to help you guys protect your IP. Mm-hmm. They got back to me via email, if not the same day, the next day. And then we finally, and that was December 2020. And because of the holidays, we finally had a meeting, but just like this video call with the three founders, February 1st, 2021. So I did have to follow up in the middle of January, because I understood the holidays, but I was like, are we going to do this or not? Or what's up?
Well, I think also, if I'm not mistaken, during that period, that was also when the Nike acquisition happened, right?
Oh, no. The Nike acquisition happened in December. It was announced in December 2021.
Oh, so this is a year before that.
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
I remember the CloneX drop already happened, and then the acquisition was announced. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, immediately after.
Yeah, because I remember Spencer, you were involved in that drop, and then I remember saying, "Oh my gosh, unbelievable! What timing! That was great." Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it was pretty crazy, but it was. So they did an Artifact Ferocious, collaboration. That would have been the first physical shoe and the thing that put them on the map as far as with NFTs. It was amazing to be there for that. And I was talking on a Spaces yesterday about just the history of Artifact, and I was like, people don't know. Even in early, with January 2020, they had done a collaboration with Lexus, because Lexus had a new car that was coming out, and they created a one-of-one 3D printed shoe, pair of shoes, but to represent that car. And there was a whole expo. Lexus did a whole press release, and there was a video. It was with Steven and Chris, or Zapteo, and Chris, or whatever they want to go by. But yeah, and so that was that story, and that's how that got started.
Wow, that is awesome. That is so cool. So do you still have like close relationships with the team, and do you still talk to them at all?
I mean, I still have their numbers, but if anything, I mean, I don't feel like I wouldn't say that we do. We've gone like our separate ways.
Gotcha.
Like they're building, like they're continually building their company. And now I'm working, like with another company and also working with different clients. And I'm also doing strategic advising for different projects as well. And so, yeah, but I'm blessed and thankful that was my start. And that they got me. I mean, obviously they got me because lawyers are expensive. But I'll say that internship lasted 2 weeks, and then they did, obviously have to pay me, and we did do like a proper consultant contract. So, which is important. But yeah, the experience certainly, it taught me a lot and developed me into the lawyer that I am today, and has given me the opportunity to work with, like other really great projects and speak on stages and kind of share the importance, of legal counsel as you're developing, within this ecosystem. So I am thankful, and I think they know that.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's so cool that you've been able to kind of like carve out this like freelance like niche for yourself within the crypto and NFT space. Like, it's so unique. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. I tell you, I tell people sometimes, yes, I think I'm smart. I think more than anything, I'm resourceful. And it just goes to show, you don't have to, I wasn't a straight A genius. And I say that to say, like, if you can, just push through and find your lane, like you can get it going and be successful. I'm quite sure no one from my law school really would have thought that I would be where I'm at, right now. There's no way. And I'm happy for it and excited to kind of trailblaze.
That's awesome. What's up, Crypto Doozy? And Omar, of course, thanks to BB, I became a physical collector. Lots of people as well feel that same thought. And on that point,
I was going to say I started with VC as well.
Oh, cool.
2021. Yeah, nice. 2021. Yeah,
OG.
that's when
early adopter.
It was there, and I was like, okay, I still have it. I don't have it on the phones. I have, obviously, we in crypto have different types of phones. Your burner phone where your wallet is at and all that type of stuff. But I still have it on there, and every now and then, I don't know why I still update the app. But yeah, the only bummer, obviously, is I want to put the comic that I bought in my own wallet. I don't want to keep it on the VV platform. And I think that's everyone's, grumble. But maybe one day we'll see.
Hopefully one day we'll get there. But we'll see. But I guess on that note, are you a physical collector as well?
Yeah. My goodness, what do I have? Recently, in my living room has has my comics in here. So recently, the Static Shock. I wanted to buy some of those, some of the new releases, the collector editions. So I haven't taken this one out.
Nice.
Then
cool,
cool series.
Yeah.
We have this one as well. And then
nice.
This one. So there's quite a bit, and then I don't know, Battle Royale, but that's not. I have that, but that's old school Japanese. I have I don't know, this one is one that I read. This is Mouse. It's about German occupation. Nazis. And,
yep. I've seen that one before.
Wow.
I read this in European history. My freshman year of college. So, but I rebought it because I was like, I need to buy that again because it's a classic and it's important. But this one here was my start into reading any kind of books at all. This is Frank Miller's Complete Batman from 1989. And so, this one was the first time I ever read a comic, and I would have been in fourth grade. So what is that, 1989, I don't think I was not 9. So I'd say 10, maybe 4th, 5th grade. So maybe 10 or 11 when I would have read it. And I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And it was the biggest book as far as pages that I had read up to that point, before I got into Goosebumps and all that stuff. But
yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Were you into collecting this stuff before you got involved in Web3?
Yeah, no, I was, just because I've been a fan of just like anime too, and we know the history of anime. Most anime series come from manga, and so obviously I can name my favorites of Akira, Ghost in the Shell, because it was a woman lead. Perfect Blue. I don't know if you know that one, but it's like psychological thriller, but it's an anime, but it's done so well. And so that's where like it would have come from. And then I was I'm maybe aging myself, but in high school, I read, somehow I got like a subscription to Tokyo Pop. I don't know like what I did. I don't remember, but like I just got like, I was getting them for free for a good while. And I was just like, this is the best magazine like ever. So thank you, Tokyo Pop, and and anime. So
that's awesome. Cool.
That's cool. My brother's really into anime as well, and he got me into Death Note, the original Death Note, and that's man. I haven't read the manga, but man, the anime is unreal. It's so impressive.
No, it is. I haven't read the manga either, but I've watched the anime, and just like the first few like episodes of it, because I watched it a few years ago. I've known about it, but I hadn't sat down and like watched it. But I watched it probably like 2-3 years ago. And in watching, I was like, maybe you don't want to watch this at night, even though like, because it has, like, in the beginning, it's pretty dark. And if you allow your mind to like go there, I don't want that to, like no, like you start seeing.
It's like that and no Attack on Titan before bed either.
Oh yeah, another great one. Yeah.
Attack on Titan, I love the music, like the soundtrack.
It's so good. Yeah.
It is.
I have like the theme songs from all the seasons just like saved on my phone. I just listen to them sometimes. They just hype me up.
For me, that's Cowboy Bebop.
Really?
Love the music from Cowboy Bebop.
It's great.
I'm a jazz fan, so I like it. I feel so bad. I don't remember it much right now, because the music I'm aware of, but as far as the series, it's really hard to remember because it's the same time. Was it Cartoon Network? And it was like Cowboy Bebop, Trigon, and I don't know what else, but those were that's what was on. Again, I'm aging myself, so this is like, I'm not gonna. Maybe it was like not 20 years ago, but pretty close to that. Maybe 15 years ago, but probably more like 20. But yeah. And so I do remember, like watching that. I haven't watched the live action on Netflix because I'm just like, I don't know.
Just like Death Note, it's very disappointing. Very disappointing.
I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah,
I don't need to have that ruined for me.
I actually watched Death Note because random story. One of my friends in college dated the director Adam Wingard or Wingard, I don't know how he pronounces his name, dated him.
Death Note.
And we went to his house in Alabama. This is before he like made it in Alabama because he was filming some like short horror film that she was going to be in. And I remember one of his, he's living with his dad. And for whatever reason, one of his friends was also living there, and then like his brother got me into some of the Japanese, I don't know, like gore type films, like, I don't know, Versus, which I think you could say is kind of anime inspired. And now I'm looking at my DVD collection to see what else from that. But I'm going to just say Versus. If you've not heard of it, just Google like Japanese like film Versus. It like you would spell it like normally. And it's just gore. It's like zombie and there's some martial arts and it's beautiful. And the story makes no sense, but it's really beautiful. And so that also took me down just a route of watching more Japanese cinema, which added on with the anime as well. So
very cool. Nice. So I'd love to talk a little bit about Chainhoppers. What was kind of the inspiration for that? How did that all start?
My PFP, and I feel like I want to get up, but I'm not going to get up. I mean, I have on shorts, but I have this Mario Brothers like thing that I have on my legs. I'm perpetually cold. Yeah, I have like a bust of my. Yeah, I'm gonna get up. I think I'm shorts. Hold on a second.
Where'd you get a bust made?
So yeah, so this is it. I had a bust made of my of my PFP.
All right, I'm gonna need you to send me the info of where you got that, because I need to do that with my clone.
No, I'll definitely let you know. I don't even remember how much it cost me, but I didn't feel like it was too much, at least not back when I got it done. I actually have two. So one has the original clone, like the actual PFP's clothing, and then I was like, put her in a gi, in a karate gi, because I used to do karate, so that was important. But no, that was the inspiration. The wanting to create, like I knew, obviously I knew about CloneX or Akira, you know, like what it was, the code name was a Project Akira. But obviously I knew about CloneX before a lot of people did, and had seen what it was going to be. And I already knew that I was going to like create a character based off of, of one of the PFPs. And so the one I do have, I actually did not mint. I minted another one, but on the same day, one of my friends, I was like, do you want to trade? And he did, because I don't know, he's Indian, and I had a third eye one. He was like, I want that. Nice. And I was like, please, because I have dreads. I want that one. And I can't see. And I can't see very well either, so it works out. But yeah, no, that was inspiration. And then, like I said, very big fan of I guess Akira or Akira, Ghost in the Shell. And then I watched Psycho-Pass, which is another anime series movie. I mean, whatever you want to call it. What else? I mean, I watched a few things to kind of like get me in the mode of writing. I knew I wanted to, kind of be, I mean, you see a lot of stories where, intergalactic city, the human, rebels against, the AI. I mean, I think that's what Terminator, I think, the plot there, I think it's some of the plot of kind of the Matrix somewhat. I mean, there's a ton of movies where you can kind of get that simple plot. And so that was the idea. I knew I wanted to kind of incorporate like blockchain tech in some way. And so, so that's where the name Chainhoppers comes from. It's actually, it's a crypto money laundering term, because I used to work for a crypto exchange, and I just loved that term, chain hopping. And it's essentially when someone is trying to hide the original source of their funds. So they stole it from person A. And so then they are going, they're going this wallet, this wallet, this wallet, but they don't go from wallets, but they say, okay, I'm going to change it from Bitcoin to this coin, to this coin, to this coin, this coin. And then I will
Monero or a privacy coin or something like that, where it can't be traced, and throw it through Tornado Cash,
so
whatever you can do. Yeah,
exactly. So they're chain hopping. So that's where the title comes from, but it has nothing to do with the story. So I kind of, I guess, changed the meaning of it for the story's sake. But that's where it comes from. And I love investigating anti-money laundering, but that's not what I do right now. But I love that with blockchain technology. But yeah, no, that's where the idea came from. Started writing. Hired the original artist, or hired, not the original, I hired an artist from Fiverr, and it was okay. But like for the, I don't know, like it wasn't, like the communication wasn't the best. I'm very happy that I did not continue with him, because the artist I found after him was just, he's amazing. And what I had to end up doing, because I knew a lot of artists through like NFT Twitter, but none of them were traditional comic artists. And then during the bull market, the artists on NFT Twitter, they were really filling themselves and charging an exorbitant amount, which is just, I thought, I mean, I'm all about supporting artists, but I'm like, yo, I went to law school. Like, are you like serious? You can like, I'm going to pay you what to do what? Like, oh my gosh. So I asked someone that I knew via Twitter that was an independent comics creator who I had supported on Kickstarter. And I was like, hey, like, where do you find like comic creator? I'm trying to do like an indie comic. Where do you find the comic like artists? Like, where do you find them to kind of hire them? And he was like, he sent me a Reddit link, and he sent me a Facebook like chat group, like or a Facebook group link. And that's where, yeah, I found the guy that I have. His name's Caio, and he's based out of Brazil. And I found him, yeah, on Facebook, the Facebook group for comic creators, you know, looking for jobs, or comic artists looking for jobs. And yeah, I looked at his Instagram, looked at his Behance, you know, like portfolio. Absolutely loved it. And at the time, I was talking to a comic book publisher that is slightly well known. I guess I'll say it. I mean, like whatever. Valiant. I was talking to them, and they initially wanted to hire the artist and the writer, and I was like, no, I'm going to write it. And I was like, you can edit what I write, and I'll go back and I'll follow like your feedback and rewrite it. And then I didn't like their prices for artists. And I was just like, well, what if they choose an artist that I don't like, and I don't want it to be a long process? And so when I found this guy, he had done some fan art of, oh my gosh, one of Valiant's most popular IPs, or one of their most popular comic books. And the name is escaping me. I don't know if you even know it. It's like the blue guy with like the red circle, like, because it's like,
I don't know Valiant Comics that well personally. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's all good. I feel bad that I don't remember the name of it, but it's one of their like, yeah, largest like IPs, one of their largest characters. And so Caio, he had done on his, on the Behance, he had other work that he'd done, but he had done some fan art. And I had been reading that because they sent me like that comic for me to kind of get an idea for storytelling for a comic and what it should look like, and just an example. And when I saw that, I was like, this is the guy, like, come on. And so, yeah, I'm very happy that, I'm working with him. I'm going to work with him for the second part, you know, of this, and anything I decide to do in the future. As long as he's available, he will be the person that I work with, because I created the story, I wrote it, but he did all the art, as well as the lettering, you know, and I don't think you see that often, because I did find a letterer, but then he bailed like last minute because he had other stuff to do. It was just too much. And I was like, that's fine. And then Kai was like, I can do it, you know? And I was like, okay. Because I know English is not his first language, but he was like, I got the script, I can do it. And there were no errors. There were no errors in any of it was perfect. And so
does he do the coloring as well? Sorry, I might have missed you said that.
Yeah. So he did the way he did it. So he started out with pencils. Like he sent me so I sent him the script, because I write in like screenplay format, because that's another part of my history in college, like writing short films and filming them with like friends and students, drama students. So that's what my background is, with like writing and storytelling. So that's how I wrote it, because it seemed hellish to try and learn how to write, I guess, like a comic book writer. And so I was like, no, let me just do it like this. I can put the story out. And he was great in translating like a screenplay format type script, you know, into a comic story. Like he did it like flawlessly, just excellent work. But no, he did a larger sketch to start with, so I could so I could make sure that he understood what I was describing. I didn't have to correct anything. So then he did pencils of the whole thing. Then he did inks of the whole thing. And then he did coloring, of the whole thing. And then he was the most gracious ever with my very, very, like, you know, like the edit this very small thing, you know, like nitpick type of edits. Just again, it was a great partnership. He's excited for part 2. He's excited about the story. And again, he was like, no, I understand, you know, artists are very, you know, we want to have control over our work. And so I'm not annoyed by you at all. And I was like, I appreciate you.
Nice. Do you still have the original penciled like in ink pieces before coloring? Cool.
Yes,
That's
I do.
awesome.
I have all of it. So I have all of it. I've posted it like through, I mean, all of like last year as he was going through the process, I was posting it. But no, I have it all. No, it's very important to keep all of that. So yes, I do.
Awesome. Was it Bloodshot? Was that the one you were thinking of
Yes.
before?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So someone
did a
see
little
it?
bit thing. I figured it out. Yeah.
Yeah, is Bloodshot. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, Sean, did you ever get into Valiant Comics at all? I know like nothing about Valiant.
No, not really. Yeah, same. Not so much.
Gotcha.
No, I mean, I randomly had come into contact with them through I guess another clone holder out in San Francisco. Like he had a contact and he heard that I wanted to do a comic. And so he decided he wanted to do a comic. And so he was like, but you should be like the lawyer. And I was like, that's fine, I'll write it. And both of our clones will be in this. And that fell through. It didn't work out, but I kept the contact with Valiant. And so what I can, if anything, say, they did, just kind of, like give me feedback. And yeah, no, and I certainly, took it and tweaked it where I wanted to, but it was more feedback around, you don't want it, like you want to, I don't know, like create, I don't know, like I almost want to say like Zetus Lapidus, which is like, what is that? That's Xenon 21st century. So like create.
Hey, yeah.
I told you I'm not old, but I'm a little seasoned. And so like create like some dialogue. Like create some dialogue that would be futuristic. And I remember when I was also writing, I had a trip to London and I saw Back to the Future like as a play in London.
I did too. Yeah, I saw it too. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I really appreciated it. And so, because I love the film. And so when I was watching that hit again, I was like, yeah, like all the things like Great Scott. And when he's saying like what is it, 21 gigawatts and just like that, yeah, like when he's saying like, I'm like, yeah, that's what they mean. Create your own, because if this is the future and you're this far in the future, there should be terms that you make up that people don't know. So that was some feedback. There's feedback, don't make it, too techie, like, because you want to be digestible. So yeah, just really good feedback, which I certainly appreciated. But then obviously the NFT market took a dive, or the crypto market, all of it kind of took a dive where that partnership just didn't work out. And I was like, well, I'll just do it myself. I will self-publish this. I don't know how I will do it, but I will. And then I spoke with Adam Fortier or Adam from ComicsDAO. I don't know. You don't know this guy? Okay. Twitter. And he's ComicsDAO on Twitter is the @ and spoke with him, heard him on his Spaces, hit him up in the DMs and was telling him what I wanted to do. And then he just told me the story of the Ninja Turtles, how they got their start. He was like, they were self-published, in black and white. And he was like, they put it, in like grocery stores and different spots. And, and eventually someone saw it and wanted to do something with the turtle, like IP. And that kind of helped it like move along. And that
Mark Friedman.
Exactly. And
have you seen the Toys That Made Us episode on turtles?
I saw that probably like 3-4 weeks ago. And it just, further invigorated me that even though I'm a lawyer by day, I'm going to, I'm just going to keep, if it has to be on my own dime, that's fine. Some people buy a car or, fancy this, fancy that. Well, I will self-publish my own comics. Mixam.com. So that's MIXAM.com. They do an excellent job, really good quality. And I felt like the price was really good. So I'll continue and we'll just see if anything happens. And so
nice.
That's the story of how it all started.
That's awesome. Well, if you need a female pink pigtailed hair reptile clone for any of your future stories, I'm happy to donate mine for use.
What will probably end up happening though, because even though, like I say, it's loosely based on the clone, but I do like there is no the story has no mention or no relation to anything within the artifact ecosystem, because obviously I'm a lawyer. And so like if it were one day, you know, obviously that's the dream, to pop off in some country or like wherever, and it becomes, you know, profitable, then I don't need Nike, because it won't be artifact. I don't need Nike knocking on my door with their like huge like legal team, you know, like an NFL pro type legal team coming after me saying, hey, we own this. No, you don't. Like I've done as much research as I can as a lawyer.
I know what the terms and conditions look like. You're wrong.
Yeah. So I would say like I would change. There'd be some adaptations made to your clone so that it wouldn't be fully pulling from any traits that they own.
Cool. Well, I don't have any Murakami traits, so that's helpful.
No.
I wish I did, but you know.
I'm gonna give you this for free. If you read the artifact terms of service, they own the traits of the clones, and so like not just Murakami. Murakami owns his stuff, but they say that, and they revamped their terms of service when they released the 3D files, because it didn't have that language in there, and so now it does. And I'm like, well, I can certainly make a case for my comic character being a representation, you know, a reflection of myself. I like that would be very easy for me to do, because a lot of and it's
wouldn't be able to do that with my clone, but you know,
I mean, there are things you could change. I mean, you see people with the anime and all that stuff, so there are things that you could do. But
so when you say that the traits are what they own, so it's like, so basically like the T-shirt or like the necklace or whatever they designed, that's their property basically.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, you know, whether you know they designed it or they hired, you know, people to design it, you know, like they own it. Like they created, you know, these pieces of jewelry, even though a lot of them are shout outs to anime characters that we all know, you know, they have that language in there, and not because it's artifact, but because it's Nike, as owning the you know, like being the parent company. It's just, if I'm going to put my money behind it, you know, like, even though it's not a lot of money, but still
gotta play it safe.
I want to make sure I own it, but no, I want to just show you some of them. I do.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. This is the original cover. And then this is what Kaio did. And then I had is he a clone holder? I don't think this guy's a clone holder, but he's an artifact creator, and he goes by Ohio. Ohio Kawaki, and he is on Instagram. And so he did a variant cover, and I decided to put it on the back of the original comic. And then what's this one? I had this one done by another variant done by an Australian artist. He goes by Daz, D-A-Z. And this is based off. It's one of the co-stars within the comic. Has that cover. And then this is a Japanese artist, Jun Komatani. And so he did the art, and then the calligraphy was done by an artist who likes to go by, I think it's U or like infinity, like U, because it's just like symbols, and like U is what they want it to go by. I don't know like their actual, you know, like name, but I was like, but June signed the contract, because trust me, there was a contract. He did this one. And that's the Samurai edition. And this is the last one that Von Sol did. And he's an artifact creator. I think he might be, he may not be, but he is a clone holder. And so he's known for doing, everything he does is blue colors. And so, he did this one, kind of the dragon variant. And so it's this one here. So
covers look so good. So there's five different variants?
Yeah, so it's four different variants. So you have the original,
one original and 4 variants. Yeah.
Cool. And so I paid for the printing, and so folks, I released it by NFT via an open edition. And so if you bought the original covers NFT, if you would get the physical comic. And so I've started shipping them out. But if you bought what is it, 3? And if you bought 3, then you would burn 2 to be able to, or you burn 2 of the original comic, then you would choose the variant that you wanted. And then you would get both. And so, yeah, I actually need to mail out the folks that own these, because these just came when I was out of the country. So I do need to go back to the post office and mail, some of the variants out. But yeah, people bought, and then what did I do? I did it through a Manifold open edition. I still have it open. I've left it open. I was like, I'll just leave it open, like whatever, like Amazon.
So we can still buy now if we wanted to?
Yeah, you can still buy now. Awesome. I would see it. And then there's a link and a description to the Google form. And then you fill that out. So I have your address, and then I can, where do you want me to send it to? People have not needed to give me their actual names, and I've been able to mail them without knowing their names and just putting the address in, and they receive it. Some people I do know their names, and some I don't. And yeah, like it's been mailed to, sent off to Germany, Scotland, Australia, Brazil, not because of Coyote. Well, I've sent it to him too, but holder in Brazil, Mexico, Japan has a few holders, and then there's all over the US as well. So yeah, that is Chainhoppers. So
there we go. I just posted the Manifold link here for anybody who's watching who wants to buy themselves a copy.
Yeah, and then if you want, like, I obviously it helps me a lot more if you buy like the NFT version, or because it comes, what is it? Because it's in ETH, and it's 0.04, which at the time was maybe about $60. So it kind of, that's how I paid for like the printing. But if you want just traditional costs, then you can go to chainhoppers.com and just scroll at the bottom, like to the bottom, and you'll get the PayPal link. And it's, I think, like $12 to kind of just pay again for the shipping and the packaging. But yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. And then, so are you doing distribution into stores as well, comic book shops?
Yeah, so I did. I've done it I kind of did it like the old school way, I was in California for NFT LA. I needed to be there actually for work. So when I wasn't like working, you could find me randomly taking Ubers to different comic shops. And so I was in my hotel, and I would just kind of Google, okay, what are the comic shops like near me or just around greater Los Angeles? From Google, I would call them up and just ask, hey, I'm an independent creator. Do you have a shelf? Do you support independent creators? I'd love to bring the comic by. I got it in, was it four stores?
Congrats.
Awesome. across LA within the 8 days that I was there. And I promise you, I was working. So I had to go meet with the team and work. And then afterward, I'm like, all right, I gotta go to a comic shop. I'm tired, but I gotta go to a comic shop. And so it was super exciting to have that and get that done. When I went to NFT New York, I was only NFT in New York, Lord, NFT NYC. When I went there, I was only there for like a day and a half. Got there, came back because I just didn't want to be there forever. And I got one comic store there. But now that I do have the variants, when I was doing the comic stores, I only had the original one. And I was like, I don't want to go to too many comic shops because I want to make sure that I get the variants. And so these artists, because the variant artists, they gave me their time. They did it, for no cost. And so I want to make sure that I get their work, just so they're able to say, hey, I'm obviously sending them copies, but hey, my work is on a comic book and it's in a store, so I definitely want to do that. So that's what I'll need to be doing, but it's in a store in DC as well. So yeah, I need to get back out there and get back on the phone. I'm like, oh Lord. It was fun the first go around. It feels like it's going to be a lot of work this time around, but I'm definitely
at least you have an idea of what to happen and what's going to happen, what to expect. So
exactly.
I think it'll be easier this time around, hopefully.
Yeah, it's just going to all of them, having the conversations, and the one thing I've learned is make sure I ask. I didn't run. With the 4 comic book stores that were in LA or the one in New York. I never ran into none of the owners or managers not being there. But I did notice that when I did some of the phone calls, that the people that are working there said, hey, our owner or our manager is in on this day. You should come in on this day. And I'm very thankful for them telling me that. And so when I do make the calls now, I do ask. So I make sure the person I'm giving it to actually has authority to put it up on the shelves. And typically they'll do it while I'm there and then, let me take the pictures and stuff. So yeah, if you're doing this, you make sure when you call, you ask, like, hey, like, when's the manager coming in? When's the owner in? And you go when they're in, because they will give you the yes or no, like straight up. They won't make it a long process and review. So
makes sense. Bill, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thanks so much for joining us. And we have a great comment for you here, Sh3k1n from Nos Clint. Couldn't agree more.
I wonder what his what Nos Clint is. What's his Twitter handle? Because he said, I may not. He may not be on Twitter, but I'm curious to know what his Twitter handle is.
It could be a VV person. I see a gauntlet with a little Thanos hugging the gauntlet. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I see it could be a VV person. But
we definitely chat. Yeah, we definitely chat on Twitter. So he's definitely a big part of the VV community. And he actually just asked you, Sh3k1n, if you're going to go to San Diego Comic-Con. There he is. Yeah.
You're gonna hate me when I'm asked this. Is it in the summer?
It's in July. July 23rd, I think. Yeah, like second last week in July, weekend in July.
It's very possible that I can go, and maybe I will now that he's mentioned it. And I'm asking because I'm going back to Japan, and I'll be there for a month, and I'm gonna, I guess 6 weeks, and I'll get back on the 19th. So that'll be some very interesting, jet lag.
Yeah.
What part of Japan are you going? Tokyo?
I'm going to Tokyo and Kyoto because it's there. I mean, I've been there before. I was there in December and January for 2 months. But I'm going back because it's their blockchain, like they call it Japan Blockchain Week. That's inaccurate.
Cool.
It's blockchain month for 4 to 5 weeks. They're going to have tons of conferences around NFTs and blockchains and tech and meetups. And startups are going to be, pitching, and the VCs, and there's going to be a lot happening in both Tokyo and Kyoto. So that is why I'm going. I got some stuff I want to pitch. I got some
That's
hands.
Awesome.
How's your Japanese?
Yeah. Good for you. Good for you.
You know what? It is non-existent, but I did very well for the 2 months that I was there. But because this go around with what I'm doing, I'm gonna just try to learn some basics. And just to be able to show an effort before I did not care, which I'm ashamed of as an American, but you know how we do. But no, I'll certainly bring the with me. I don't imagine I'll be able to get them into any manga stores. Like that's not going to happen. It could, but it's highly, highly unlikely because the market there is super flooded. And I hope anyone that's Japanese doesn't take offense to this, might be listening. English in Japan, no. It's you can find people that know it, but very sparingly. So but I'll be bringing this to June, the artist that did this one. I'll be bringing him a few copies because I'm I don't want to ship it to you. I've already shipped to Japan. Don't make me pay that and ship it more. So I'll bring some for holders and take some pictures with it out there. But no, I'm excited for the trip and I'm going to New York Comic-Con definitely because it's close to me.
Cool. I'll be there.
But Diego, I will think about it. I will think about it. Yeah.
Nice. Well, we're pressed at San Diego Comic-Con, so we're going to be there hanging out and talking to everyone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now you've killed me. Oh man, I'm gonna be. Are you allowed to curse on this thing, or I don't even know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck it.
I'm gonna be so fucked
why not?
on jet lag because I've done it before. I'm gonna think about it because obviously I'd buy the ticket and buy it all beforehand to make sure I go. but oh man, that just it sounds like a huge headache.
I mean, you'll get no sleep there anyway, so it honestly would probably be a pretty good way to reset.
Just crash 20 hours in the flight.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably have to take something, to kind of help me sleep. So, but yeah,
right before the pandemic hit. Oh, Gail, what's up? Big shout out to Gail. What's up, bud? Awesome guy. Right before the pandemic hit, actually, I was in Japan for about 2 or 3 weeks. I was visiting family. I have family in Matsuyama, which is about an hour train ride from Osaka. Have you been to Osaka?
Okay. I did not, and trust me,
cool.
It makes no sense. I just had this one period where I needed to spend the whole day in the hotel, and I was in Kyoto for 3 days, and I did not make it to Osaka. It's so freaking close. So this time around, I am gonna make it to Osaka because I'm in Kyoto for at least 4 days. So I will certainly.
It's close.
Osaka. Yeah,
go to Universal.
Yeah, I didn't
like Mario World.
Yeah,
I've seen all the pictures, and I guess I will. I didn't do any of the touristy stuff. I was just there for I was there for business.
It's so fun. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a blast. It's really fun. Yeah.
And it's in Osaka, or where is it? Is it in Osaka?
It's in Osaka. Yeah. So Osaka's the second largest city in Japan.
Is it? Okay. I would have thought Kyoto. I have no idea.
It's really fun. Yeah. Okay.
Well then, all right. I'll go. I think you have to plan ahead too. Look. Yeah. No, with their ticketing, the ticketing system is like you can't do stuff last minute. You gotta
right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. It was so funny because people tell me that in Japan nobody will steal anything, and I tested those boundaries for sure. I had set up time lapses on my phone, and I just walked around Universal, and I came back like 45 minutes later, and sure enough, my phone was still there.
Wow,
it's crazy.
That's a big trust.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I was testing the water.
Yeah. But no, they're very amazing. Yeah, they're very nice and hospitable and just amazing people. So yeah, I felt welcome, and I was like, gosh, I feel like an American. I need to correct. Come on, get better. Like they're so nice. Right. Come on.
Yeah. So nice. Yeah. So friendly. Yeah. It's incredible country.
So you guys are on the West Coast, right?
I'm based in Colorado.
Okay, so kind of West Coast.
Kind of westish. Not coast, but west.
Well, if anything, I'll tell you this. I'll be rooting for the Nuggets tonight. So this is basketball in case you don't know.
Nice. I'm from Philly, so I'm
Warriors fan. We just got booted.
But
the Lakers, I mean, I'm a Heat fan because I'm originally from Miami. So rooting for the Heat.
Nice.
I don't know what we can do in the finals, but if we get the Lakers, I think we can match up against the Lakers, but not the Nuggets. The Nuggets are a very strong team, and I think they're going to win the whole thing.
Good.
So, Colorado, even though So
I just live there. I don't care about the sports.
Go sports.
Go sports.
Man.
Yeah. Well, Sh3k1n, this was so fun having you on today. So fun learning more about Chainhoppers and everything, your background, learning about everything with the artifact. Before we close out, is there any last thoughts, anything you want to share with our audience?
I mean, I'd say go to chainhoppers.com. I mean, like the link to the Twitter, is there, email link, Instagram link. Just if you got any questions, let me know. Certainly pick up a comic. Obviously, I'm going to say obviously, none of the money goes to me. It goes to me producing physicals and trying to get them in stores. Yeah. And just the last thing I would say is, like, when I was in Estonia, I brought 4 with me, and I was like, I'll just go to the comic book stores and ask them to put it up for free, or to give it out for free, because like English is not their first language, but they were like, no, our people can read English. And I was like, okay, I just want to make sure, because I know, like, I was like, you don't need to see, if you want to sell it, you can do whatever you want, but I just want you to give it to people. And so they're like, we will do that. And they thought it was good quality. So excited to continue putting it, in different spots. But if you want to support the project, definitely appreciate it. If you have any questions, definitely hit me up on Twitter. It's at Chainhoppers, is at Chainhoppers on Twitter, at Chainhoppers on Instagram, and then chainhoppers.com as well. So thank you guys.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks,
Well, make sure.
been,
Thanks so much. Yeah, make sure that you follow all of sh3k1n's socials. Make sure you follow the Chainhoppers socials, and we'll see you again on the next one. Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.